today we will be touching on healthy work-life balance a little bit. And reason why we will be talking about that now is this is the beginning of the year. We don't want to be neck deep in frustration, anxiety of, oh my gosh, what did I do? Now my work is taking a toll on me, my life is taking a toll on me, my kids are taking a toll on me, before we start learning what to do. So the best bet is to remind ourselves earlier on in the year what we can do to balance our work, to balance our personal life, and balance every other thing around us so that we can be at peace. We can have rest and go through the rest of the year without getting frustrated and becoming anxious and just going crazy, and at the end of the day we are not being productive. Once again, I say welcome. This is A Woman and More. My name is Fumi Shoyomi. Please go ahead and subscribe to this channel, press the notification button so that when new video comes up, you're able to be alerted and come on and watch and tell friends about it. And also, please always like our videos as much as you know that you like what we're talking about. This channel is mainly to help encourage, to help charge, to help push us to fulfillment of purpose, working towards the fulfillment of my purpose each and every day. And as I work towards mine, I'm encouraging women and every other person like me to work alongside myself so that we can get to that place of fulfillment. So let's dive in. What is healthy work-life balance? And I know a lot of us have heard this word a lot of times, especially if you're a career person, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, or if you have your own business and you just have multiple things. And that is what women do. We do multiple things. We don't get to have that opportunity to just stick to one thing and be like, okay, I'm a banker and this is all I know, I don't have any other thing to do. We don't get that opportunity. We always have something. If you don't have kids, you have families, you have friends, and for some of us, we have a career, we have kids, we have a husband, we have families, and amidst all, we have our personal things that we want to do. So a lot of time, all these things are vying for our attention back and forth. So I want to go to work, but I still want to have time to come back and play with my kids. I want to have time to sit down and talk to my husband. I want to have time to call my mom, and all that is going on. But okay, how do I balance this situation so that I don't get pulled in many directions? And when I go to work and I come back, I still have enough energy to entertain my kids that will not stop talking, or I still have enough energy to take care and make food for my family. I still have enough energy to make calls and talk to people that I've not talked to in a while and not feel like, oh my gosh, you need to get off the phone and all that. So that is what we're talking about when we say healthy work-life balance. How do we create this environment where all these things vying for our attention is not squeezing us dry? You can simply just define it as the effective management of work life while ensuring that we have enough time and enough energy for personal life. Everyone, I believe, knows that when you have a healthy work balance, you're productive. You're more productive than you will be if you don't. You will have greater work satisfaction. Your relationship with other people will actually be in good place, because if I tell you I'm going to call you tomorrow and I didn't call you until like 2 weeks time just because I couldn't figure out myself, I figure out how to put things together. If it happens the first time, you might say, oh, she's just so busy. Second time, third time, you're probably just gonna shut down and be like, okay, she's this kind of person. So it helps to foster relationship when we have a good, healthy work-life balance. It helps us to be productive. It helps us to be satisfied with whatever we're doing, job, home, family, kids, and all that. And the disadvantage is always obvious too. When we don't have that balance between our work, between our career, between our personal life, between our family life, everything is jumbled together. We're always going, and doing this and doing this and doing that without no demarcation or any like thin line between all of those things. then our relationship is going to suffer. We probably won't be fulfilled or satisfied with whatever we're doing. We probably are going to have like low productivity of whatever we're doing. I am a woman with 3 kids at home with my husband there, and at the age that my kids are, they are, I don't even know what to say. They are all over the place. They are all over the place doing all kind of things, and I still have to like be on top of it, like every mother will do, and monitor and manage the home and do my job and do that which is my business and write my books. And I'll tell you the tips and the little things that I follow to help me. And I'm not saying I'm 100% balanced. I'm still working my ways to get into that like full balance place where I'm like, oh yeah, I got it, which I think everybody will get to. There's always that 5% or 10% of off that does not really work out. But at least if you can get a very good percentage and a good grounding of healthy balance, then I would say you're good. And that is where I am. I'm not 100%, but I have a very, very good percentage of a healthy work-life balance situation that helps me and keeps me going without me feeling like the world is going to go to an end. We are not all the same. We are different people. What works for me might not work for you. What is working for you might not work for me. But we can kind of learn from each other and maybe twitch a little bit what's working for Mr. A and twitch a little bit what's working for Mr. C to actually figure out yourself and put the plans together so that you can get what works for you. So every time I tell people, I don't copy people, and I don't expect anybody to copy someone. So if somebody comes and tell you, I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to do this better or how to do this differently, that doesn't mean the 3 tips that works for them will work for you. You just have to figure out yourself and decide what works for you. So it might be 1 tip out of those 3 tips that really work out for you, and you have to switch the other 2. So whatever tips I'm giving today that works for me, if it doesn't work for you, just walk around it, but it might be a good suggestion of what you can do and where you can start from. The first thing I really do is I prioritize and plan. There are things that you might just decide to not do at some certain time, and there are things that you might decide to do. There are things that are not necessary for you to do. So set your priorities right and plan what you need to do throughout the day. You remember I told you that I'm not 100% there, and this part actually affects me. Setting boundaries when it regards work and personal space. I would say, there's sometimes you just have something at the back of your mind and you want to just get it done, get it done. That is one thing I'm working on myself, like not checking work email when I'm home, not taking calls when I'm home, not texting work people when I'm home with my family, and not checking briefly like, especially if you have a workplace where you guys have like a group chat or group messaging. Sometimes it's hard when that beep comes and you want to see, what did they say? Who tested and all that. Those are some of the things we have to set boundaries on and be like, okay, it depends on, part of it is switching and picking that which works for you, because it depends on the type of job you're doing. If you are kind of maybe a doctor and you're always on call or you're on emergency calls, then you need to be paying attention to those messages coming in, because you don't want to be that person that they call to come and help someone and you're no one to be found. But there are some jobs that do not require us to keep going into our emails when we're home, or to bring files home and lock yourself up somewhere and not have time for your family. So I would suggest to find a way to make that work. One way I make that work for me, which is not 100% again, is I put my phone on mute. I put my phone on mute. Immediately I get to my house, I put my phone on mute. I really don't use my phone a lot when I'm at home. I drop it somewhere and I don't even remember where it is until I feel like, okay, I need to check what is happening. Did somebody call me? Did somebody message me? Something like that. So that is one thing I do. I put my phone on mute. You might not be able to put your phone on mute. You might not be able to just shut down your tablet or your laptop and say, I'm not doing this. but find a way around it. Maybe for a few hours of little time to help you just focus on what you need to focus on until you start working on it and finally get your 100%. I'm working on mine. I'm not in my 100% yet when it comes to setting boundary between work and personal life. The third thing I want to mention is we should all learn to say no. We should all learn to say no. I say no a lot when it comes to personal things. If somebody asks me to go somewhere and I don't feel like going, I will say no. Or even to my family, my husband might be like, "Oh, can we go together to that place with the kids or whatever?" I'll just tell him, "You can go with the kids. I'm just gonna stay home today." And I do that. But when it comes to work, it took me time to learn how to say no. And not because I want to um, please anyone, not because I'm trying to make myself good in any way. It just feels so hard to be asked for help and you have to say no. And that was me. That was me at a point. It feels so hard to be asked, "Oh, can you do this?" I don't know how to say no because I know I can do it, but I know it might not be convenient at that time. But I just feel like, okay, I can do it. I can figure a way around it and all that. So over time, I start to see a pattern of me just doing too much, just doing a lot, just doing too much, just doing a lot. Now I'm at a place where I easily say no. If it doesn't fit into what I think I can do, if it doesn't fit well into what I believe I'm capable of, or the time is hard, I will say no. It's actually very easy. So I suggest learn to say no. Learn to say no when it's necessary. The fourth thing is to take breaks. Take breaks. Take breaks. I think I'm there a little bit where I can just pick up my stuff and shut down my laptop and drop my phone and say, okay, I'm done. My eyes is beginning to like go in circle or my head is pounding and all that, and I just take a break. So also, you might not have any pounding head or whatever, but if you feel like I mean, our body tells us to. Our body tells us, our mind tells us that you're doing too much. This is not the right place for this. And if you're feeling that way, then that means it's time to take a break. It's time to take a break and just shut down everything and find a space for yourself and relax. And relax so you know that it's time to do this. And lastly, we should learn to delegate. We should learn to delegate. That is one of my hard uh, thing to do too. Learning to delegate. I don't think I'm a perfectionist, but at a point I just want things in certain way. I don't know whatever meaning you give to that. I just want things in certain way, and in my head, other people are not going to do it the way I want it. So I want to go ahead and do it by myself. To work, relating to personal life, family. How much are you delegating at work? If there's a lot of things that you need to do and you have people that can help you, ask for help. Ask for it. A lot of time people are actually waiting for us to ask for help because they don't know how you will receive it if they ask if they can help you do that, or maybe they don't even know that you need help until you ask for help. And a lot of people are willing to help. They're willing to help others if you ask for help, if I ask for help. So let's get to that point where we feel much more comfortable. Let's work ourselves there of asking for help and delegating. Recap tips to achieving healthy work-life balance: prioritize and plan, set boundaries at work, at home, learn to say no, take rest, and learn to delegate. Be mindful of what you are going through and work at it continuously until you reach a point. If you remember what I said initially, I'm not at 100% healthy work-life balance yet, but I daily work at it. I try to remind myself what my body is saying, what my system is saying, how I'm feeling, and be like, okay, I need to push back. So also, go ahead and work that out till you get to a point where you can relax and say, this year is going to be great. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to be fruitful. And there will be fulfillment of purpose because I'm not overworking myself. Enjoy the rest of the day. Don't forget to subscribe, press the notification button, and like our videos. And always come back for more encouragement, for more tips. Most importantly, be that woman that is more in everything. Bye.